All right, guys, today we are talking about trends. So market structure, uptrends, downtrends, bullish trends, bearish trends, and how you can point them out, what they are, how you can point out invalid trends, so a break of structure. So here we will mark out, I will draw out a bullish trend, so an uptrend. So all an uptrend is making higher highs and higher lows. You'll hear it everywhere, you'll hear everyone say it, but this is a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. This is an uptrend, okay? So a way to say this is this right here is the top of the mountain, this is the top of the mountain, this is the top of the mountain, okay? And these are good indicators to show, because a way to show an invalid trend is if price stops making higher highs and higher lows. So say we kept coming up here and we failed to make a new higher high here, right? And then we came down and made a lower low. So this right here, failing to make this higher high, and then this right here, right at this line, at this top of the mountain here, making a lower low is a break of structure, right? So this now wipes out the uptrend. Now, that's not saying it's going to go down, because as I will tell you right now, it's accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So another way to, let me draw that out for you guys. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. It is one of the most important things on the charts. I know I say that a lot, but everything matters, okay? So let's look at accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So, right, we're accumulating, right? We're kind of just chopping around. We manipulate to the downside, okay? As we talked about in our liquidity video, we just swept liquidity, right? So we just accumulated to the downside, and now we have all these buy orders down here, where a lot of people, a lot of beginner traders will see that we broke out of this consolidation zone, and they'll just sell, right? Like, oh, we broke out of this zone, we're going down, let me get in a sell. So they'll short it. And then what you'll see is you'll see the accumulation here, the manipulation here, and then the distribution here, and we'll go higher. So this is usually the start of trends. We'll see accumulation before an uptrend, and then we'll see distribution before an uptrend. So after we accumulate here, after we manipulate and we distribute, that's when you'll start seeing higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, and that will be a bullish uptrend. Okay, and now we can do the same thing for a downtrend, right? We're accumulating, just making little higher highs, little lows, little highs, accumulating, right? We manipulate to the upside. Okay, so a lot of beginner traders, what they're going to do here, they're going to see that we broke out of this accumulation zone. They're going to get it in a buy. But you see a lot of the time, we'll accumulate, we'll manipulate, which is what we're doing. We're sweeping all of this buy side liquidity. We're manipulating to the top, and then we will distribute to the bottom, which will create a shorts trend, so a sell trend, which is, instead of higher highs and higher lows, we're making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And to spot a break of structure on this, we will have to see we do not make a lower high, right? And we fail to make a lower low, and that's when we start going in the other direction. Now, once again, this doesn't mean it's going to go long, because it may just accumulate again, meaning, right, we did break of structure here. Now we're going to accumulate again. Then we could manipulate and go higher. So accumulation, manipulation, and distribution is extremely important in spotting trends, and it's extremely important in entries. Just because we went lower for a second doesn't mean we are going to go low. Now, this is a perfect example of this. What are we doing here? We are accumulating, right? We're accumulating here. We manipulate to the downside, right? As I was saying, this is a perfect example of us accumulating up here. we manipulate to the downside. A lot of beginner traders are going to get in like around here when they see that we broke out of this accumulation zone, right? But what happens right when everyone thinks this is going short? We're really just manipulating to the downside so we can go higher and start making an uptrend, right? So we're really, the real move is when we see a break of structure after the manipulation. So we take out all this sell side liquidity, right? We manipulate to the downside, and right about here, we see a break of structure, right? So say we got in this long right about here. Even after this candle, we could have our stops below, say, even this fair value gap, right? And we could target recent buy side liquidity. So here, here, even up here. But say even we just target this buy side liquidity, which is a 1 to almost 3. This hits 90% of the time, right? Because we're accumulating, we're manipulating, and we're distributing. So all you got to remember in trends is uptrends, bullish trends, we're making higher highs and higher lows, okay? We're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, okay? And in a bearish trend, we're making lower highs and lower lows, okay? And easy ways to spot this is wait for accumulation, wait for distribution, wait for manipulation. Or wait for manipulation, wait for distribution. So wait for it to manipulate through this low right here, right? We manipulate, we take all that sell side liquidity, and then we distribute to the upside. So that is basics of trends. We're going to have way more videos explaining, getting into real depth, but that's the basis of what you need to know. So stay tuned for the next video. We're talking about breaker blocks, order blocks, fair value gaps, inverse fair value gaps. So you still got a bunch to learn. Make sure you guys have your notebooks out, you're taking notes. Make sure you're going on the charts after every single video and marking these out for yourself. All right? Catch you in the next one.